Hi, welcome to CalTv. I'm Jim Caselli. This is our fifth and final episode of CalTv for 2019. We'd like to thank you all for watching, and we'd like to thank you for taking the surveys at the end of our show. Those surveys, with your feedback, help us bring you a better show and also to understand what it is what you'd like to see from CalTv. Looking ahead to 2020, we have some great shows lined up for you with information that, as always, will be very helpful to you. In today's episode, we'd like to introduce you to our Relations Coordinator Management Team. We also have some information about a change regarding copying an incorrect quantity or amount from a purchase order or a PO receipt to a voucher. And we'll also have some information about FishChat. If you have any questions, please feel free to submit those, and we will get the answers to you in a timely manner. So I'd like to introduce you to Steve Johnson. Steve, welcome to the show. I know that you started off as a readiness coordinator. Give us a little bit of your background.
Well, I've been with the project for a little over 5 years, and I did start out as a readiness coordinator for a few months, 3 or 4 months.
And then where did you go into the project after that?
From there, I went into the training department as a trainer and was helping to develop the training and going out to the different departments and traveling around and delivering that training. And from there, went to a supervisor in the training department.
Nice. Okay. So you were basically there at the beginning with the readiness coordinators.
Pretty early on, yes. So I think we were in around wave 2 back when we were waves instead of releases.
Okay, and onboarding, what were some of your biggest challenges back then?
Oh, the business processes were difficult because in some cases they didn't actually know what some of those business processes were supposed to be. The FishCal was being built, and as we were working with those early departments, and especially the role mapping, that was a real difficult task for the departments to deal with.
I remember that changed gradually over the course of the onboarding process. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about being a readiness coordinator. What was your biggest challenge?
Well, I know the departments would cringe every time we would call, but we had just multitudes of tasks that we were having to we had to log all of these tasks in order to keep up with them and calling them, trying to keep them on track. And I thought it was really good seeing how the relationships were beginning to be built between the readiness coordinators and those departments. They needed somebody here to, as a lifeline that they could trust and go to for help getting things done.
And being a readiness coordinator myself, I always used to tell my departments that you could think of me as your single point of contact. I might not have the answer to your question, but I could direct you to the person that could give you that answer or get the answer for you.
And there was a lot of trust that was built between the departments and the readiness coordinators over that time.
And the readiness coordinators, as we'll find out here with our next guest, has morphed into a relations coordinator. But the readiness part of this was a major portion of it, dealing with changes.
Right, the change management portion, when the departments were frustrated and upset about tasks and things that were going on, not knowing where it was going, the change management aspect of the readiness coordinators reaching out to the departments was a vital thing.
Great. Well, thanks, Steve. We have some more information for you coming up regarding the relations coordinator with our next guest. But right now, here's a segment about changing amount or quantity in a PO. Effective immediately, when you copy quantity or amount from a purchase order or a PO receipt to a voucher, you will not be able to make any changes in the invoice line section on the voucher because these fields will now be grayed out. This change is being implemented due to issues that arise when changing quantity or amount at the voucher level. The purpose of this demonstration is to show you what you should do if the wrong quantity or amount is copied to a voucher from a PO or PO receipt. Please note, the information in this demo is applicable to when a PO is set up correctly. Remember, if you want to update any PO-related information, a change order for that PO is required. For this example, you are going to partially pay a PO when an invoice is received. In this scenario, a $500 PO was set up, a $500 receipt was created, and now you are going to pay the vendor $100. You create a regular voucher and complete all of the necessary invoice information, such as invoice number and the receive date on the voucher. Then, when you copy from the PO receipt on the copy worksheet page, rather than copying only $100 to the voucher, you inadvertently copy the full receipt, which is $500. With the new functionality, you will not be able to change fields like quantity, unit price, or line amount in the invoice line section of the voucher. So, how do you fix it? In order to copy the correct quantity or amount from the PO or PO receipt to the voucher, you are now required to delete the respective invoice line first. Then, you will return to the copy worksheet page and change the right quantity or merchandise amount on the page, followed by copying the selected lines to the voucher. In this case, we are copying only $100 of the merchandise amount from the receipt. As you can see, the voucher pulls the correct amount from the receipt, and you can now save the voucher. The Finalize function has also been disabled from the voucher at the voucher header level, invoice lines level, and distribution lines level. This functionality has been removed from the voucher because once the PO line has been finalized on the voucher, there is no way to reopen that line or return the unused balance to the contract. It has been determined that it is more appropriate to finalize the PO from the buyer's workbench. If your department needs to disencumber the remaining balance of a PO or PO line, please follow Job Aid FishCal 243. If the PO is sourced from a contract, please follow Job Aid FishCal 437. Hi, welcome back. In that segment, we said at the very beginning, effective immediately. I want to clarify that. You will be receiving a communication shortly that will actually tell you when that change will take place. So we'd like to introduce to you our next Relations Coordinator Manager, and his name is John Avila. John, welcome.
Thank you, Jim.
John, I remember being a relations coordinator or starting as a relations coordinator, and you're one of the first people I met. You'd been here, I think, about a month before I got here.
That is correct. That was about 4 years ago, Jim.
About 4 years ago. So Steve gave us a little bit of the background of the readiness coordinator, now known as relations coordinator. Bring us up to date on that change and how that's being put into effect.
Yeah, so after our 2018 release, we immediately switched our hats and went from the readiness role to the relations role. So now onboarding those 150 departments to supporting those 150 plus departments, which, as you know, is no easy task.
Right.
So we went from onboarding to operations and maintenance, and really seeing how we can support the departments.
So it's basically more of a customer service role now.
Absolutely. So it's customer experience, customer interface. How can we better support the departments and using the system?
Still dealing with a lot of change, though, correct?
Absolutely. There's always change. SEO milestones, SEO changes. Change is the name of the game.
Right. And you have some information about some of the projects that we've been doing to help our users with the system.
Yes, so we've been reaching out to the departments over the course of the last year. We started the Imagine FishCal sessions. Original one we came out with some great ideas.
CalTv being one of them?
Yes, so
Right.
Job security for you, Jim.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, we had some great ideas come from the departments. We had them, be really candid about what needs to be improved, what's working, what's not working, and we took that to heart and came out with some really good concepts and good ideas. As you mentioned, one of them being CalTv. We also did some reports to go, make reports more accessible and easy for departments to use, and various other initiatives.
Right, and also you went down to Southern California for an Imagine FishCal.
Yeah, so a couple of months back, we went to Southern California as well. Again, we had some great input and feedback from the departments, and we're working on some other initiatives mainly on user experience and user interface to the system to make it more easier adjustable and applicable to the departments.
And all of those initiatives, if you don't know about those, you can always contact your relations coordinator to find out more about them.
Yes. Other initiatives we took place during this year, we also went into the FishCal Power BI. So we're offloading a lot of the reports and queries that the departments are using in the system right now. So that's another big initiative we're taking on, as well as developing a new system for us to help track those concerns and issues and items for departments, our customer relationship management software that we're implementing right now.
Great. I know a little bit about that, and that's going to be an exciting addition.
Yes, and we look forward to it because it's going to help us support the departments more efficiently and expediently.
Great. Well, thanks, John, for giving us that information. We have a little bit of information right now about FishChat, and we'll be right back after that. Did you know that you can call and chat with a FishCal subject matter expert any afternoon? FishCal implemented FishChat back in July. It was an idea that came out of our Spring Imagine FishCal workshop series. This service makes it easier for you to get answers to your questions. Through FishChat, end users can call 855-347-2250 Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. and ask to FishChat directly with a FishCal SME. SMEs will be available to assist you with how-to questions and less complex system transactions. We strongly encourage our users to use FishChat for service-related questions. If you just want to find out the status of a ticket, please email the FishCal Service Center or use the Search for Ticket Status through the self-service portal. And please don't try to use FishChat to move your ticket to the front of the line. The FSC services tickets in the order that they are received. Opening a ticket and then calling to FishChat about that ticket will not get the ticket prioritized. If SMEs are assisting other end users when you call to FishChat, an FSC Level 1 support analyst will open a ticket and route it to an assigned SME. The SME will return your call the same day or during the FishChat office hours the next business day. We hope you will take advantage of this new service. Hi, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that little bit of information about FishChat. And now we have with us Stacey Meza. Stacey, welcome.
Thank you.
As everyone, you were you were a readiness coordinator as well.
I was during pre-wave.
Is it okay to ask how long ago that was? I know you said pre-wave, but how long ago was that?
That was about 7 years ago.
7 years ago. And there's been quite a few readiness coordinators between then and now.
Absolutely.
So Steve gave us a little background about the readiness coordinator. John gave us a little background about where we are now, and you're going to give us a little background about where you see the relations coordinator going. Please fill us in.
Well, I think over the last 7 years, it's evolved. And so we've learned more and more about each of our departments and what they like, what they don't like, what they wish they could have. And so we've been really busy trying to formulate a strategy that would accommodate that. Ideally, we want to provide excellent customer service. That is the goal of FishCal. So how do we provide that excellent customer service? We've got a couple of things that we're working on. One of them, as John mentioned, was our CRM system. It's a system that's going to help us have a better understanding of each department, what are the ins and outs of it, understanding what their month-end close statuses are. In addition to that, we're going to be working on the 360 dashboard. And so we're going to be working with the departments to help them update their dashboards, but also as they're updating it every month, we have a better understanding of what challenges they're experiencing. The whole goal is to get a head start on their month-end close now instead of in the springtime, because we think that if we start earlier, we'll have a more success rate of closing our periods quicker.
And obviously the relations coordinator plays a big role in all of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as John and Steve both mentioned, our goal is to collaborate with departments. We are the advocates for our departments. Whenever we go out to have our touch point meetings with you guys, we are bringing that information back. We're talking to our subject matter experts. We're developing plans. Something that we're working on as we work on the Dashboard 360, we're going to be taking that information and developing action plans. And so based on that action plan, we're going to be meeting with you monthly to drive those action plans to get them resolved. Again, working towards removing barriers that departments were experiencing through month-end close last year and previous years.
And a few episodes ago, we did a segment on the Department 360, and that certainly is something that's going to be a benefit to all of the departments. I know that there are still some departments that are still learning about that.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And so one of our goals as relations coordinators is to constantly educate. FishCal is always trying to innovate and challenge ourselves to better accommodate our customers and our end users. And so based on the surveys, the Imagine FishCal, our touch points, our stakeholder meetings, we're gathering all this business intelligence to develop more programs and more strategies to help our end users and departments be more successful.
So just getting out in front of all of that and providing information and anything that will help the end user do their job and make it easier.
Absolutely, absolutely. Doing that, educating them, and also being transparent so everybody knows what everybody's doing and that we're all moving basically as the entire state of California moving forward to month-end close and ultimately year-end close using FishCal.
And what would you say is the biggest challenge for a relations coordinator in all of that?
I think the biggest challenge is it's a challenge, but it's also a gift. A lot of our relations coordinator team, they're really talented in networking and developing relationships with their departments. And so one of the challenges is immersing themselves in the departments to understand what's going on in the department and the climate, but then also adapting to that and then figuring out the best way to better support that department and establish what needs they have.
And tooting our relations coordinator horn a little bit, I know that their feedback has been very positive about all the relations coordinators, and that's always nice to hear.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. That's Stacey Meza. That is a look at where the relations coordinator is heading. And when we come back, we have a special message from all the relations coordinators.
On behalf of the Relations Coordinators team, we'd like to wish you happy holidays and happy new year, and we look forward to working with you in 2020. Happy holidays!
Thanks again for watching FishCal TV. You can see this episode and all of our FishCal TV episodes on our FishCal YouTube channel, and we'd like to remind you to please take the survey after the show is done. Thanks again for watching, and and we'll see you soon.